all the apps are tracking your commitment, and you signed a thing that said they can sell that data to Collective Scores Corp. Adam Neumann has made a $500 million bid to buy back WeWork. This is important because WeWork was early on talked about by Adam Neumann, who created it. I think he created it. He was very involved in it. The world's first physical social network. So it's a co-working space, but it's like a clubhouse social network where you have fobs to get into everywhere, which is every apartment building now. As we know, the metaverse is our new government and our new economy, and social media is the metaverse. WeWork's model brings this level of tracking and control, like level of insights, data insights you can get from what everybody's doing and who they're talking to, and then levels of access control. He brings that to the real world with WeWork. And there are lots of other living and working structures that emulate this model, like lots. Anyway, that's why this is important. You might be like, oh, WeWork, millennial co-working, who cares? So a judge recently ordered YouTube to reveal everyone who watched a video. I don't think that requires further comment. Uranus and Taurus, the grand finale. In Uranus and Taurus news, vinyl records are outselling CDs for the second year running. There's like a high percentage of people who collect vinyl who don't even have record players. Something that Uranus's transit of Taurus does is make what used to be basic innovative. And on that note, people are doing this thing where they're opening up parts of their home to be a free Blockbuster library, a video DVD library that's free. One person profiled in the New York Times article says that they stock theirs with season-specific films, subversive books, and free candy. What a fun idea. So it also is a way for people to gather in real life, which is cool. Meta is adding AI to its Ray-Ban smart glasses. In the future, if you haven't already, go watch my cryptocurrency for beginners video. It's not what you think. It's not going to be like, get a wallet and start trading. It's not that at all. Anyway, in the future, you're going to be the sensing mechanism for the various super intelligences governing the world. It's not bad or good in the way that, like, if you love nature and were against TV in the 1940s, in the way TV is not bad or good. We have functioning people who watch TV, who love nature. I mean, we could talk about technology in like a Tower of Babel sense, triumphant inventions that go on to ruin the world in some way, like the light bulb, for instance. Wonderful invention, amazing. I love light bulbs. I use them every day. However, blue spectrum light, anything other than firelight, basically, which is what we evolved with, candlelight, firelight, anything other than that after sunset is going to be extremely endocrine disrupting. And the part of your endocrine system that it disrupts most heavily is your pineal gland, which after your last viewing a blue light after sunset, 3 hours after that, your body begins to produce melatonin. And if you see blue light at all in those 3 hours, then the 3-hour clock starts over. And melatonin is a powerful antioxidant. Facebook has done a lot of creepy things, or it's come out the extent of the creepy things Facebook has done, like give Netflix weird access, and also find ways to spy on you using Snapchat, sneaky spying of your use of other platforms. I didn't look into it. The point is, the reason why I bring it up, everything you do. Just pair that with judge ordered YouTube to reveal who watched a video. The precedents are falling around privacy. And as I've mentioned before, in 2016, I went to the world's largest computer networking conference, which was very dumb. It took me 2 weeks to prepare, and I'm still convinced I'm being followed. Anyway, one of the lectures I went to was called The End of Privacy. This was in 2016. He said, privacy is over. It's ending. Swift, which is a big payment platform, it communicates in between banks, will launch a new central bank digital currency platform within the next 12 to 24 months. As we know, central bank digital currencies are coming. The reason they're coming is because they're programmable. So your money becomes a range of legal tender you can spend anywhere it's accepted, from that to a sticker you earned for some sort of compliance behavior that can get you access to goods and services and events and living situations, etc. Again, watch my cryptocurrency for beginners video. Amazon has spent $2.75 billion on AI startup Anthropic, which is who brought you Claude, and this is their largest venture investment yet. And Larry Summers, a member of the OpenAI board, has said he thinks AI could replace, quote, almost all forms of labor. And this reminds me of a popular coding bootcamp. The intros to their AI course materials says that AI is actually producing jobs, But for instance, one of the jobs at sites is prompt engineer, and I read a few weeks ago that that role is dissolving quickly. So just understanding what the landscape is. And everybody's been laid off, and the Air Force has bought a surveillance-focused AI chatbot. So it's an AI digital assistant for analytics, and it can take data such as images and videos and then answer in understandable language information about that data. This week, right now we're in between eclipses, which happens twice a year. Every 6 months, we have a set of 2 eclipses, sometimes 3, and the period in between eclipses is considered a chaotic time of change. On Monday, Mercury stations retrograde late in the day. The whole day is likely to be mercurial. This week, I urge you to slow down, lest you be slowed down because you did stuff because you were in a hurry. On Monday, Mercury stations retrograde in Aries, and this Mercury retrograde occurs in the same set of degrees as the Mars retrograde of the fall of 2020, early September through mid-November. For more on the overall shape and qualities of the Mercury retrograde, watch my Mercury retrograde in Aries video. And the moon, when Mercury is stationing, the moon is in Capricorn on Monday, the place that Mercury retrograded through last season in the winter, in connection to events of November through January. Anyway, Monday, if you have a lot of Gemini, Virgo going on in your chart, if you have Mercury angular in your chart or on an angle, or if you're in a Mercury ruled year, Monday is likely to be a doozy. And it could be good or bad. It doesn't have to be bad, but normally when Mercury stationing retrograde is prominent for you, that's going to be something slowed down or reversed. Unless you have natal Mercury retrograde, in which case it could be something good, beginning, possibly depending on your relationship with Mercury. But it could end on a high note because in the wee hours on Tuesday, the moon trines Jupiter. So on Tuesday, and the moon is in Capricorn, so you're either going to feel the moon trining Jupiter, a triumphant, practical feeling Monday night, or your day's going to start with it, depending on where you are. So Tuesday could have sort of like a triumphant buzz, but the moon squares Mercury, which is just stationed retrograde. So a buzz of excitement and also some frustration. Or maybe some frustration comes down the pipeline in the evening. But the moon also sextiles Venus and Neptune at night. You might want a relaxing night after the chaos of Tuesday. On Wednesday, the moon enters Aquarius, so much cooler, and it conjoins Pluto. So that like Adam Newman WeWork energy, the metaverse is our government, is social media, is the place where you live, the building you live in. Those themes come to the forefront on Wednesday. But also on Wednesday morning, Venus conjoins Neptune. So this is peak idealism with the moon in Aquarius and Venus conjoining Neptune in Pisces. With Venus-Neptune signatures, it's like peak false hope, or it could be peak ultimate beautiful romance. One of those things. Some mornings, I like to take a bath. It helps me to feel more grounded. And my days are always great when I start them off taking a bath. A bath in the morning. That's the vibe of Wednesday. On Thursday, we start to get more of a preview of the upcoming eclipse. The sun conjoins the North Node in the sign of its exaltation. So it's like sun maxing, identity maxing, projecting and identity maxing. Watch my eclipse video when it's out. But the sun conjoins the North Node, so really it's like we're on a mission. Whatever house the sun rules in your chart coincides with the sign of Leo. So according to your rising sign, you would count houses until you get to Leo. For instance, if you're a Virgo rising, then Leo would be your 12th house. You'll get like an exclamation mark in the sign of Aries, whatever area of life that is for you, and around themes that whatever area of life the sign of Leo signifies for you. And in the evening / nighttime, we have Venus moving into Aries and the moon in Aquarius sextiling Mercury retrograde. So Thursday is really setting up the themes that will come into focus in a strange way, under a strange light, next Monday. And looking back on this time, the themes of Thursday will have a hand in signifying the great change that this sequence of eclipses brings, especially if the nodes are prominent in your chart, or if the signs of Aries and Libra are prominent in your chart, or if you're in a year that makes the nodal axis in your chart prominent, or if you're in a sun-ruled year or a moon-ruled year. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a free course on how to read your own chart. You can get it by signing up for my emails at voyage.earth. And I know you just met me and it's a whole ass course. Sometime soon I'll turn it into a one-page cheat sheet. In the meantime, you have to watch 10 videos. Astrology is complicated. People pick on astrology for oversimplifying things, but to do it right, it's actually very complicated, and it shows you how the complexity of everything is entangled. Friday is foreshadowing for later next week when Mars conjoins Saturn in Pisces. Friday, the moon moves into Pisces, and it conjoins Mars and conjoins Saturn in the wee hours. I just think there's a term called electrowetting, where people can control little droplets of water across a surface, a form of programmable matter, and this is very Friday. Things are being controlled in ways that are subversive and working through undercurrents. And on Friday, you want to feel good, but you're not gonna. Unless you want to like roll your sleeves up and get your hands dirty and put your nose to the grindstone. All those cliche terms apply to Friday. But do it in a Pisces way. What's rolling your sleeves up and being like the dirty mechanic? What is that? What's the Pisces version of that? Fighting off demons in your dreams. Or maybe not even demons, maybe just like unwieldy spirits, unwieldy waves of spirit energy. Saturday has a nice buzz. It's like, you know when you like draw lines on something to indicate like majesty? That's kind of Saturday. It's not necessarily going to have a positive result, but it feels good and it has like a sparkle to it. With the moon sextiling Jupiter first thing in the morning, like today is going to be a good day. Or that happens like more in the noon area if I'm in the continental United States. So if you're on the East Coast, Venus also sextiles Pluto from Aries and the moon sextiles Uranus. So we have like an exciting crackle and also like making the metaverse an artistic place. Some sort of like virtual worlds art, or making cyber warfare glamorous, or you fall in love with your surveillance chatbot. And on Sunday, early in the morning, the moon moves into Aries. So this is a sign in which the sun will be eclipsed. So a lot of foreshadowing. So Sunday goes hand in hand with Monday, and also in the beginning of the day, or early in the day if you're in the Americas, the moon conjoins Venus. I just think voxels. Sunday is digital art. The moon sextiles Pluto and conjoins Venus. So a little echo reversal, a little remix of Venus sextiling Pluto on Saturday. And on Monday, it's just like the middle of the day, the sun will be eclipsed. The path of totality goes across the United States. It's a solar eclipse in Aries. So whatever's been going on in the sign of Aries, a solar eclipse will have something to do with how you identify with that area of life. And it's on the North Node, so it wants to manifest through that area of life. So whatever area of life the sign of Aries signifies for you, which you can go through my free course on how to read your own chart if you don't know that. You can also watch my eclipse video coming soon. Or you can find out more about it in my next weekly. The change that eclipses bring unfolds throughout time. When it's happening, you might not be able to recognize it, no matter how much astrology you know. But the basics, a North Node eclipse in the sign of Aries, you're being remade anew. It's gonna have something to do with what sign Leo rules in your chart, or what sign Leo coincides with in your chart. But be careful. Mercury retrograde during eclipse season makes it all a little more confusing, makes the change that unfolds a little more of a winding path. Cross your I's and dot your T's, or not, because if you didn't, then that's what needed to happen. One thing eclipses do are they bring up some sort of change that's been like cooking behind the scenes in the kitchen of your subconscious for a long time, and they sort of bring them up to the surface in a way that feels like it's before you're ready, or maybe you're really ready and just everybody in your life is not ready. The eclipses, the chaos of eclipses and Mercury retrograding at the same time through the same sign, actions you take can change the course of your life. So be mindful, get quiet. It's still in between eclipses. It's a good time to rest. It's a good time to get information from your dreams. That shouldn't sound silly to you if you're watching this channel. Lots and lots of rest is very good for the time in between eclipses that happens twice a year. Remember, you can be slowed down because you are in a hurry. And remember, your Wi-Fi is a camera that can see through walls.